Hey guys, this is David. Today we're going to take a fresh look at the Canon EOS Rebel T3i DSLR camera. We'll compare some of the core features of the T3i with a few of its Canon siblings, and explore who this DSLR is for and who should look elsewhere. Along the way, I'll share some photos and video clips that I shot with this camera, and before we're all done, I'll also share with you some must-have accessories for this DSLR. Okay, so are you ready to dive in? I thought so. Let's get started. The Canon EOS Rebel T3i DSLR was released in March of 2011 and has quickly become one of the most popular DSLRs available. As if the Rebel line wasn't popular enough with budding photographers, the introduction of the T3i has captured the imagination of thousands of aspiring videographers. Full HD video and the interchangeability of lenses are particularly attractive to wannabe videographers, especially now that they can have this in a sub $1,000 DSLR like the T3i. The Canon T3i ships with a body, battery charger, USB interface cable, AV cable, EOS solution disc that contains a really handy utility that I'll talk about a bit more later, and a suitable strap, although I quickly replaced mine, and if you desire, a kit lens. T3i is considered a compact DSLR at 5.2 inches wide, 3.9 inches high, and 3.1 inches deep, not including the lens. T3i is very similar in size, weight, and features to the less expensive T2i. The T3i feels solid and well made and is comfortable in the hand. At the heart of the Canon T3i is an 18 megapixel CMOS digital sensor and the Digic 4 processor. This sensor and processor are also found in Canon's 60D and T2i. The camera has one SD card slot that can take a regular SD, SDHC, or SDXC card. The T3i does not ship with a card, so plan on adding that to your list. I highly recommend that you use nothing less than a Class 10 SDHC card for this camera, especially if you want to shoot HD video. The T3i has what Canon calls live view shooting, which provides a very accurate simulation of photos and video using the LCD screen. This is especially helpful when doing a video shoot without a separate field monitor. The 3-inch variable angle LCD monitor is bright enough for shooting in full sun and can be flipped so that it lays flat against the camera back or can be positioned at various angles for high or low shooting. But remember, as with any camera-powered monitor, it will consume your batteries faster when you are using it. That being said, the flip and twist capabilities of this monitor make it a priceless asset for videographers and creative photographers. One of the major differences between the T3i and the 60D is its continuous shooting speed of 3.7 frames per second versus the 60D's 5.3 frames per second. The controls of the T3i are easy to access with the thumb and forefinger of your right hand. One thing that really impressed me about this camera was a real-world example of how easy it is for a beginner to get professional results. So one day, my son, who has never used a DSLR camera before in his life, went on a walk with my new T3i. When he came back, I could tell from his face that he had experienced something really special. His big smile made me very curious to see his photos. As I looked at his photos, I was amazed at the stunning images this camera enabled this beginner to capture. He simply used the camera's Scene Intelligent Auto mode. When you dial in a different mode, the camera shows you a short but helpful description of that mode. This feature can accelerate your progress and help to quickly hone in on a mode that is best suited for the type of shooting you are doing. My son's experience helped me to realize what a fantastic job Canon did skinning over this formidable professional level camera with a simple and easy to use point and shoot like interface that enables a novice like my son to achieve very satisfying results. I'm convinced the results are one of the reasons that owners rate this camera much higher than professional reviewers, who tend to nitpick about technical details and specifications. The T3i allows you to easily select and scroll between ISO 100 for well-lit scenes to ISO 6400 for lower lighting scenarios. Photo quality generally looks great up through ISO 800 and begins to show some signs of degradation around ISO 1600 on. The 9-point autofocus system is accurate and quick for photos, but does struggle in very low light situations. T3i camera does have the ability to autofocus while you are shooting video, but it often takes a few seconds for it to refocus. Plus, the noise of the camera while focusing will likely be heard in your video. All this being said, the T3i's video autofocus is pretty useless. Fortunately, there are plenty of other great reasons to like this camera. As with most quality cameras these days, the T3i includes optical image stabilization that works very well. T3i's battery life is generally good. However, battery life is so subjective and is very dependent upon how you shoot, the brightness of your LCD screen, and things like whether you are using autofocus or not. For shooting photos, I've found the battery life to be excellent, allowing me to take 400 to 600 shots before needing a change. However, shooting video will consume your batteries at a much more rapid rate if you're using the camera's LCD screen to monitor your video. So I would recommend that you pick up a few additional batteries. I found a very inexpensive aftermarket brand that has proven to be just as reliable as the OEM battery that came with this camera. To add more battery power to your camera, you really should pick up the Zycos battery power grip. This is a high quality accessory that matches the camera's look and feel in every way and is much less pricey than Canon's version. It easily and securely attaches to the camera and has a removable tray that allows you to power the camera with 2 batteries instead of 1. This grip also comes with an additional tray that allows you to use 6 AA batteries to power the camera in a pinch. This is a great safety net for those involved in remote shooting away from a power source. If you don't want to be limited by batteries, Canon offers a DC power unit. There's a battery-sized coupler that you simply insert into the battery port to power the camera by plugging it into a wall outlet. For this accessory, I would only recommend the Canon brand. For your convenience, I'll put links for these valuable accessories in the video description below. One nice feature for those who wear corrective lenses like me is the quality dioptric adjustment knob for the camera viewfinder. This knob allows for plus and minus adjustments to ensure that you see things clearly through the viewfinder. Although this feature is common to many quality DSLRs, I was glad to find out that the T3i had it after the fact. T3i has a built-in mono microphone that sounds pretty good for general video shooting and includes an effective wind filter that can be toggled on and off in the camera's setup. However, for serious video production, I recommend that you use a quality external microphone to capture your audio. I personally use a Zoom 4HN for a large range of purposes and really affordable Audio-Technica lapel mics for shooting interviews and promotional videos. On the side of the T3i, there is an 1/8-inch stereo mic input. With the appropriate adapters, you can send audio from 2 different mics directly into the camera's left and right channels. Plus, the camera allows you to manually adjust the record levels. This is a really useful feature. There are several other camera ports which include a remote control terminal, there's a digital audio-video out terminal, and a mini HDMI out terminal that's great for plugging into an external field monitor or hooking up your camera to an HD TV. The SD card slot is on the other side, and the battery compartment is easily accessible at the bottom of the camera. When it comes to video, the T3i really shines. It offers full HD video at 1920 by 1080 pixels at 30, 25, and 24 frames per second. It also offers 1280 by 720 pixels at 60 frames per second, which is really nice for slow motion, as well as 640 by 480 at 30 frames per second. You can get exceptional results from this camera with a little attention to detail and by experimenting with the automatic and manual video settings and by trying different lenses. For low lighting situations, you may want to consider picking up the Canon 50mm f1.8 lens. It's been called plastic magic because it captures surprisingly good photos and video for a lens with a street price that hovers around $100. The T3i also offers 3x and 10x digital zoom that produces amazingly crisp video in movie mode. The camera also has a new video snapshot feature that takes short clips of video and stitches them together. There's one very important aspect of shooting video with most DSLRs, and in our case, the T3i, that you should be aware of. To protect the camera from internal heat generated while shooting video, the T3i will stop recording video when the file size of a single movie clip reaches 4 GB. This means that if you are shooting in full HD, that your maximum record time will be around 10 to 14 minutes. This can be a bit annoying, yet it's easy enough to restart the video. And if you're only going to be shooting clips shorter than 10 minutes, you'll probably never even experience this issue. However, this function can be problematic in situations where you need to shoot longer lengths of video, like at a conference, a sporting event, or a church sermon. One very helpful surprise that Canon included free with this camera is the EOS utility software. Most notably, with this software, you can extend the use of your laptop as a field monitor and command central for the camera. You can remotely control all important camera functions from within the very intuitive interface of this program. The EOS utility functions well for both photo and video shooting and produces a very nice simulation of what you'll get. This utility has been particularly helpful to me when shooting video since it eliminated the need to purchase a $1,000 field monitor. I should tell you though that using the EOS utility will deplete your camera and laptop batteries faster than you might think. The camera also has a very useful built-in flash that will automatically pop up when needed or can be accessed manually with the touch of a button. For more advanced photographers, the T3i supports the latest developments in wireless flash photography. So what's the cost of the Canon EOS Rebel T3i? Well, the street price of the T3i with a kit lens is less than $800 compared to the 60D, which will run you around $1,200 with a lens, as compared to the T2i, which normally runs less than $700 with a lens. Owners rate this camera well over 4 out of 5 stars and comment on the camera's user-friendliness, beautiful images and video, the big clear articulating LCD display, the battery life, and the seemingly endless array of professional features. However, some complain about the lack of a good autofocus system in video mode and the 11 to 12 minute clip limitation while shooting video. So who is this camera for? The T3i is best suited for those who want an easy to use, fast, reliable high-end prosumer DSLR that shoots incredible 18 megapixel photos and full HD video, all in a compact package for well under $1,000. If you're planning on doing a lot of high-speed photography, you may want to consider the 60D for its faster 5.3 frames per second continuous shooting. Also, if you want to save some money and don't really need the flip and turn LCD screen of the T3i, you may want to consider the T2i. This will save you around $100. I will caution you though, if you ever think that you're going to want to shoot video, macro zoom photographs, or anything at high or low angles, you may be really sorry that you didn't get the T3i with its flippy screen. T3i is also not for you if you want a compact, carry in your pocket camera to take with you everywhere. Even though the T3i is compact compared to many larger DSLRs, it's not small. Also, if you want to eliminate your camcorder with the T3i, you should look elsewhere. That's not what the T3i is purposed for. It lacks a seamless autofocus and is not as easy and convenient to set up and use as many mini camcorders. However, if you have a creative flair and want to shoot HD quality video productions, the T3i will help you get off to a great start. All this aside, the Canon T3i is an impressive value, rivaling the Canon 60D in just about every way, and with its full HD video, easy to use interface, exceptional 18 megapixel image quality, large flip and turn LCD screen, and a full set of professional functions, the T3i is a great place to jump into the wonderful world of DSLR photography and video, all for a crazy low street price of less than $800. Okay, so we've just taken a fresh look at the Canon EOS Rebel T3i DSLR camera and a variety of useful must-have accessories. For your convenience, I've included links to the T3i and the accessories that we've talked about in the video description below. So this is David. I hope this review has been helpful to you and you're a bit closer to finding the best DSLR for your needs. See our T3i test video footage, music video, and time lapses, and check back often for more tips and reviews on other great DSLR gear. And I hope to see you on the other side.